Have you ever walked into a room and felt like everyone was staring at you? Maybe your shirt had a wrinkle, you tripped slightly or stumbled over your words, and suddenly you were convinced the whole world noticed. The truth is, most people probably didn't even realize what happened. What you experienced is something psychologists call the spotlight effect, a powerful illusion that makes us believe others are paying far more attention to our appearance, mistakes, or behavior than they really are. The spotlight effect is a psychological phenomenon where we overestimate how much other people notice our appearance, mistakes, or behavior. It's like walking around with a mental spotlight shining on us when in reality, most people are too busy worrying about their own spotlight to notice ours. Psychologists Thomas Gilovich and Kenneth Savitsky proved this in a famous experiment. They asked college students to wear an embarrassing t-shirt with a big picture of Barry Manilow on it and walk into a room full of other students. The students wearing the Barry white t-shirts were convinced that everyone noticed, but in reality, only about half as many people did. This study shows we're not the center of attention nearly as often as we think. So why does the spotlight effect happen? It comes down to something called egocentric bias. We see the world through our own eyes. And since we're constantly aware of ourselves, it's easy to assume everyone else is just as focused on us. But here's the thing. Other people are also caught up in their own self-consciousness. They're busy worrying about their flaws, their mistakes, and their insecurities. That means they're paying way less attention to us than we imagine. While you're stressing about how your hair looks, the person next to you is probably stressing about whether they sounded awkward 5 minutes ago. The problem is, the spotlight effect can hold us back. It can make us afraid to speak up in meetings, try new things, or even enjoy social events because we fear being judged. But once you understand this illusion, you realize the world isn't watching you nearly as closely as you think. And that's incredibly freeing. Think about it. The embarrassing moment you keep replaying in your head, chances are nobody else even remembers it. So how do you overcome the spotlight effect? First, remind yourself that most people are focused on themselves, not you. Second, reframe your mistakes. What feels like a huge flaw to you is probably invisible to others. And third, practice exposure. Put yourself in situations where you feel observed, and you'll quickly learn that people aren't judging you nearly as harshly as you fear. When you accept this truth, you unlock more confidence, freedom, and peace of mind. So the next time you feel like the whole world is staring at your flaws, remember, the spotlight is only in your head. People are far more concerned with themselves than with your tiny mistakes. Go ahead, take that risk, speak up, and stop holding yourself back. The world isn't watching as closely as you think. If you found this helpful, please share for more science-based advice on how to improve your life and relationships. Also, be sure to check out our recent video on 6 ways to become a happier person. Until next time, thanks for watching.